Hello YouTubers and welcome to another episode. Just finished the warm-up for today's 30-minute rate 20 on the rowing machine. The vlog today will be more of a thought process behind it and an analysis or an assessment of how it's went post the actual workout, and there will be a live video that's probably already posted for a row along if you want to follow along with that in these isolation times. But now, like I said, finish the warm-up, we're going to hop on bay and then see how many meters we can cover in half an hour. So let's get to it. And we've finished the half hour with an improvement of 1.7 splits versus 2 weeks ago. And like I said 2 weeks ago, I would probably rather have it that way round rather than maybe last week or 2 weeks ago doing 1.7 splits faster and then this week doing 1.7 splits slower. But apologies for the technical delays, difficulties. Tried to go live and then the audio wasn't working and then I forgot to click the record button for the actual footage that you saw. So Zoe came in about 20 minutes or 15 minutes left to get the end. So user error and some technical difficulties that I have to figure out about recording sound. For some reason it didn't work this time. So now it's time to fuel up because remember food is fuel, and then I'll talk about the sort of what I was doing, especially in this one. There was quite a mental battle going on with the end of this half hour with a maximum heart rate of 195 and an average of 173. It also meant that at the end, you probably saw but couldn't hear, a little bit of throwing up in this lovely bowl. And it's mostly down to, I'm close to my max heart rate, so my body's panicking essentially. It's like, well, something's going wrong, so divert all energy into pumping blood around the body, giving my body energy, giving my body oxygen, and trying to restrict blood flow to non-essential actions like stomach stuff. So if the stomach's like, no, not today, go to the heart, and then out comes some sick. Or at least that's how I've kind of looked at it. Now it's time to fuel up, to refuel what I've already unfueled, and then we'll talk about this half hour haul you. And we've made it into the YamK version 2 post half hour, post fueling up. And if you're curious, I'll mention this. We had some technical difficulties with the half hour sound recording, both on the live stream and in this video, as you saw at the end of the half hour there. The reason was I updated my laptop, updated some settings, and which ended up meaning that the Bluetooth decided to connect to a speaker that was upstairs, which has a microphone on it. So it decided to record half an hour of silence rather than using the microphone in this camera that was filming at the time that was in the room. So we ended up with no sound. So not fantastic, but you live and learn, and we can make sure for next time that doesn't happen. Now we're going to discuss the half hour today, kind of what I'm looking at, how I look at the actual result, how I dealt with today's half hour, and then what I'm looking at for the next one. So we'll start sort of looking back. Today's half hour, 1.7 splits faster than the last one we did 2 weeks ago, which is a good confidence booster. Just thinking, okay, it is a good improvement, and it's a kind of, okay, how did I improve so much in only a couple of weeks, even if I didn't do any high intensity work? I think a big part of it for the last one was there was a lot of changes in the program and just getting used to doing the mileage again rather than doing the 2K and tiring myself out with that. there was a lot of sort of body adaptations to the program, plus tiredness from the 2K that I didn't quite anticipate. So then, given myself last week and the week before that to adjust to the program, this new program, and give my body the ability to recover and get used to the program itself. So then when it comes to the half hour today, I was able to give it a good whack rather than be a bit like, oh, how's this going to work? What's going to happen? And then blow up at some point. But the half hour today, like I said, good improvement from the last one. And like I also said, there was like a mental battle going on, especially in the last 10 minutes. And a lot of people have been asking, how do you sort of keep pushing when it gets hard? Or how do you keep focused in a longer workout? So if it's an hour at UT1, how do you keep pushing UT1? If it's a half hour, how do you keep pushing hard for a whole half hour? Well, there's this breaking things up into smaller, more manageable chunks. If it's a half hour, you can use the split time, so 5 minutes, 6 minutes. You've got 6 5-minute chunks that you can break it up into. So you can go 5 minutes, okay, right, 5 minutes more, okay, 5 minutes more. And today, it was going pretty well for 20 minutes, and that last 10 minutes, it wasn't really a case of breaking it up into 5 minutes anymore. It was more of a case of breaking up into 10 strokes at a time. So as soon as it went from 10 minutes to 9 minutes and 59 seconds, so from 4 digits to 3 digits, I started counting 10 strokes at a time, because it also helps when you're restricted to rate 20, 21. It's like 10 strokes is 30 seconds, which can make a difference in the actual looking at the time. You count 10 strokes, you're like, okay, halfway through that minute. 10 strokes, then you switch down into the next minute. So from 9:59 to 8:59, just by counting a couple of tens. And that really kind of gives you a mental push through each 10, especially if you've got just that little bit of gas. If you're completely blowing, it's quite difficult to rescue yourself at all. But this opportunity, this method, this strategy gives you that confidence. Okay, I only need to do 10 more strokes. Okay, I've done 10, now I can do 10 more. And then you start seeing it going from 9 minutes, 8 minutes, 6 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute. And you start, I'm getting closer, I'm getting closer, I'm getting closer. And then for me, sort of around 3 minutes or so, it's less about, okay, 10 strokes, 10 strokes, 10 strokes. It's you've made it to 3 minutes-ish left, whether it's 4:30, 4 minutes, 3:30, 2:50, whatever it is, around there. And thinking, I've made it this far, I've made it 25, 26 minutes in, 27 minutes in, I've only got 3 minutes left, and I can finish this piece off. And it's just that finding that place for you can really help you. You could, maybe it's a case of you're struggling with 10 minutes left and you think to yourself, oh, I just have to make it to 3 minutes left. And then you make it to 3 minutes left, and it's not a case of, oh, well, I've made it 3 minutes, time to stop. It's, okay, I've made it to 3 minutes left, I just have to almost hold on now. And since you've made it through such a giant chunk of the workout itself, it is a case of, okay, well, I can hold on for this small chunk of the piece. And like I said, breaking it up into smaller, more manageable chunks makes any workout that little bit easier, whether it's a steady workout, whether it's a hard workout, whether it's a short workout, whether it's a long workout. Just finding those smaller chunks for you, like you might count them in minutes, you might count them in strokes, you might count it in meters, whatever it is, dividing it up and putting it in like small mental targets can really help you. And so now, looking forward for future Yam Squad to look forward to, there will be, or should be, a half hour next week. And so what am I looking at doing for that half hour? Just like the last one after the 43.3, I was saying, okay, let's try and go faster than that. And so that's what I'll be looking at in the next one. If I do another 1.7 jump, that'll bring me under or over 9K at 39.9. But realistically, I've made a 1.7 jump, and I don't think I'll be making another 1.7 jump this next week. What I would like to use as a target as the split differences. So if I'm at 41.6, I would like to be under 41. And what you can then kind of use in theory sometimes, so say you've got 10 minutes left and you're on the edge of, say you're sitting at 50.5, 10 minutes left, you're saying, okay, I've got 10 minutes to work it down to get under 50 to get into that 49.9. And so you can really sort of keep on pushing there, rather than sometimes it's a case of, okay, I'm at 10 minutes and I'm not really sure where that target's going to be. And so for me, a good target, rather than saying, okay, 41.6 to 41.5, just 0.1 of a difference, I think using a slightly bigger target of dropping it sort of 0.6, 0.7 to 40.9 will give me a little bit of motivation, especially if I'm feeling okay, which might be feeling rubbish, might be feeling okay in that last bit, could get to sort of 7, 10, 8, 9 minutes left and think, okay, I'm in the 40 point somethings now. Can I push in this last section and bring it down enough to get it into the 39s? And that's kind of a strategy that I like to use too. Not holding off till the end, but it's more of a, okay, say you get to the last 10 minutes left and you're at 40.9 and you're not feeling like you're blowing. You're thinking, okay, well, I've made it to my target. I've pushed for 20 minutes and made it to my target. I can do two things. Number one, I can push and see how much under the target I can get. Or number two, you can hold on for dear life and hope that you can hold that target that you have produced in the first 20 minutes, using the half hour as an example. But that will be it for today's episode, Jam Squad. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Bit unfortunate with the no sound in the half hour, but I think it's really important to take the opportunity to stand back and assess the good things and the bad things from sort of the half hours or the test pieces, the high intensity pieces. So hopefully they help you, the Yam Squad, assess your workouts, and hopefully you can use the strategy about breaking it into smaller, more manageable chunks in your workouts to see if you can go that little bit faster. And I think really in a 2K it really helps, and definitely in those really long workouts, just breaking it into, instead of doing, say you were doing an hour on the erg, breaking it up into 320s in your head, or breaking it up into 320s on the monitor without any rest, or with rest, whatever it is. But that will be it for today's episode, Yam Squad. Hopefully you enjoyed a little bit of the chat and seeing me throw up at some point there. And as always, remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and I will see you tomorrow for another episode of the vlogs. Oh yeah!